Cleveland Browns aren't just fumbling a quarterback situation, they're fumbling their entire future. Because while rookie sensation Shedeur Sanders is dominating practice, building chemistry with the locker room, and showing poise beyond his years, he's still being ignored. No first-team reps, no promotion. Just silence. And if you think it's because of the system or development timeline, think again. This isn't about football, it's about ego. And behind the scenes, that ego might just tear the Browns apart. Let's talk facts. In camp, Shedeur Sanders has been surgical. He's going 9 for 9 in full-speed drills, tossing multiple touchdowns against the starting defense. Not third string, not walk-on starters. And he's not doing it with flashy chaos. He's calm, methodical, controlled. Like he's been doing this for 10 years. Amari Cooper has been overheard saying, "That kid sees the whole field already." Backup receivers are begging to run extra routes with him after practice, not because it's required, but because they believe in what they're seeing. Film room, he's there early. Scout team reps, he's taking them seriously. Walkthroughs, voluntary. Shedeur's leading them, and the team is noticing because he's not just a promising rookie, he's acting like a starter, and performing like one too. But here's the crazy part. He's still stuck on the sideline, helmet in hand, watching guys like Dylan Gabriel overthrow screen passes and Joe Flacco jog through drills like it's a retirement home. So why? Why is the most impressive quarterback in camp being iced out? Let's just say it has nothing to do with football. The truth? Shedeur Sanders could throw 10 touchdowns in a row at camp, and it still wouldn't move the needle, because this isn't about performance anymore. It's about politics. Inside the Browns organization, there's tension, and it starts at the very top. Team owner Jimmy Haslam, a man never shy about meddling with football decisions, is reportedly not sold on Shedeur. He didn't back the pick. He didn't want the spotlight that comes with the Sanders name. And behind closed doors, insiders say he's already floated the idea of trading him. Let that sink in. The rookie quarterback outperforming everyone on the field might be on the way out, not because he failed, but because he wasn't Haslam's guy. Meanwhile, GM Andrew Berry sees what the fans see, what the players see. A quarterback who gets it, reads the field like a vet, handles pressure like it's nothing, but Berry's voice is being drowned out by Haslam's ego. And in the NFL, when ego enters the equation, logic usually gets tossed out the window. Now we're hearing whispers. The New Orleans Saints, who passed on Shedeur in the draft, are circling back. They're desperate. Derek Carr just retired. Tyler Shoaff is struggling. And suddenly, Shedeur looks like a lifeline. But here's where things get dark. This might not just be a trade rumor. It might be the Browns trying to save face before the locker room fully implodes. This isn't just a quarterback controversy. It's a civil war behind the scenes. What started as a disagreement over reps has exploded into a full-blown power struggle, one that could shape the Browns' future, or shatter it completely. On one side, you've got Andrew Berry, the GM, the film junkie, the guy who took a chance on Shedeur Sanders in the later rounds because he saw something real. Not hype, not flash, just raw, unteachable football intelligence. Berry believes Shedeur is the guy. And based on camp film, he's not wrong. But Berry has a problem. Jimmy Haslam doesn't like being wrong. He didn't back the pick. He didn't approve the spotlight. And now that Sanders is becoming the most talked about player in Berea, Haslam's ego is in full self-preservation mode. To acknowledge Shedeur as the future means admitting the Browns already had the answer and chose to ignore it. It means admitting that a fifth-rounder outplayed their planned guys. And for Haslam, that's too much pride to swallow. So what does he do? He stalls the reps, he plants leaks, he pushes narratives about fit and timeline to buy time. Meanwhile, the Saints are watching, waiting, and they're ready to pounce. They see a broken system in Cleveland. They see a culture of fear, not football, and they're betting the Browns are dumb enough to give them exactly what they need. While Cleveland dithers, New Orleans is quietly laying out a plan to snatch Shedeur Sanders right out from under them. It started as a rumor, a whisper in front office circles that the Saints regretted passing on Sanders in the draft. But now, it's no rumor, it's a mission. Their quarterback room is in shambles. Derek Carr shocked everyone with his retirement. Tyler Shoaff was supposed to be the next man up, except he can't even move the ball against second-string defenses. New Orleans doesn't want to rebuild from the ground up. They want to reset fast. And Shedeur isn't just a promising rookie. He's a ready-made face of the franchise, polished in the media, unshakable under pressure. A leader who can walk into the Superdome and make people believe again. So the Saints have started making calls discreetly. They're offering more than just draft picks. Serious compensation. Escalators. Veteran talent to sweeten the deal. If Cleveland's front office had a spine, they'd hang up. But when an owner's pride is bruised and the locker room is splintering, logic gets traded away faster than any player. The Saints know it, and they're betting the Browns will blink first. You think the players don't notice? They see everything. They watch Shedeur ball out in drills, break down coverages like a seasoned pro, and then get shuffled back to the sidelines like he's invisible. And it's tearing the locker room apart. Some of the young guys are staying quiet, trying to keep their heads down. But the vets? They're getting pissed. Guys like Jerry, Jeudy, and Nick Chubb didn't come here to watch the team fumble away another season because of front office pride. They're in their primes. They want to win right now. And they know Shedeur gives them the best shot to do that. When Shedeur leads the huddle, they follow. When he speaks, they listen. His timing with receivers? Already elite. He's not some wide-eyed rookie. He's running red zone installs like he's been doing it for years. And yet, every time the first-team offense lines up, it's Dylan Gabriel out there jittery in the pocket, missing reads, throwing off-timing dump-offs on 3rd and long. Joe Flacco? Half-speed jogs and 2-yard checkdowns. It's embarrassing. And worse, it's divisive. The locker room is starting to split. Guys are picking sides. And the coaching staff? They feel it. The energy, the body language. The eye rolls during practice. No one's saying it out loud yet, but the mood has shifted. Everyone knows who the best quarterback is. And everyone knows he's not being allowed to lead. If you've followed the Browns for more than 5 minutes, this story should feel painfully familiar. Because it's not the first time Cleveland had a quarterback who could have changed everything and blew it. Remember Baker Mayfield? Top pick, swagger, flashes of brilliance. Then what? The front office panicked, switched systems, burned bridges, and sent him packing before he could fully grow. Then came Johnny Manziel. Media circus. No leadership. Wrong guy, wrong time. But the front office pushed the hype and ignored the signs. Deshaun Watson? Massive trade, record-setting guaranteed money. But now they're handcuffed financially, schematically, and emotionally. And let's be real, he's not the future anymore. The Browns have had 35 quarterbacks in 25 years. 35. And every time a spark shows up, they stomp it out with bad politics, impulsive decisions, or flat-out denial. Now, they've stumbled onto something real, something they didn't plan, and that's exactly why it's threatening. Shedeur wasn't supposed to be the guy, but he is. And deep down, everyone in Berea knows it. The tragic irony? They might screw it up again, not because of bad scouting or poor play, but because they can't admit they got lucky. And Cleveland doesn't do lucky well. Up until now, Shedeur Sanders has played it cool, not complaining, not cryptic posts, no drama, just work. But this week, that changed. And it was loud without him saying a single word. During joint practices, Shedeur finally got first-team reps. 1 drive, 10 plays, touchdown, no celebration, no chest pounding. He just walked back to the sideline, calm like it was business as usual. Then, in the post-practice presser, reporters swarmed. What changed? How'd it feel? Was this the beginning of something? And Shedeur? He just smirked and said, "I don't need to prove anything to anybody. The film speaks." That quote? It hit every Browns beat reporter's timeline like wildfire. Because it wasn't just confidence, it was a challenge. To the staff, to the doubters, to the league. The message was clear. You can bench me. You can downplay me. But you can't ignore me. And fans ate it up. Socials blew up. Shedeur Cubone started trending. Even analysts on ESPN began to ask, wait, why isn't he starting? It wasn't a rant. It wasn't a meltdown. It was controlled fire, the kind that only shows up in guys who know they're built for more. And in that moment, the conversation shifted. Not just inside the locker room, but across the entire NFL. The NFL doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't reward loyalty. It rewards winners. Period. And right now, the Browns are staring down a decision that could define the next decade of their franchise. Do they finally break the cycle? Or do they, once again, let pride and dysfunction bury their best shot at greatness? Shedeur Sanders isn't some project. He's not raw. He's not almost ready. He's ready now mentally, physically, emotionally. His footwork is clean. His reads are quick. His command in the huddle is better than guys who've been in the league for years. He's been built for this moment since day one. Raised by a Hall of Famer. Battle-tested under pressure at Colorado. Media-trained. Mentally tough. Ice-cold under the spotlight. And most importantly, he wins. Yet the Browns seem paralyzed by fear. Fear of disrupting the plan. Fear of upsetting the depth chart. Fear of admitting that a fourth-round pick is outplaying guys with seven-figure salaries. But here's the truth. The locker room knows. The fans know. Even the opposing defenses are starting to see it. This kid is different. And if Cleveland hesitates, someone else will pounce. The Saints are circling. Other teams are watching film. Front offices are whispering. The clock is ticking because this league doesn't forgive indecision. And if Shedeur Sanders walks out that door, if the Browns let him rot on the bench or worse, trade him, they're not just losing a quarterback. They're losing the culture they've tried to build. The credibility with their own players. The trust of their fan base. And their last chance at turning the narrative around. Cleveland has always been a punchline. A franchise haunted by what-ifs and almosts. This is their moment to flip the script. But if they fumble this one, if they choose politics over performance again, then it won't just be a mistake. It'll be Cleveland's biggest regret yet.